All righty. Today is the February 25th of 2022, and we're coming to you on a live webinar, mainstreaming or live streaming in many different places. And we want to welcome you to Friday Night Live with myself, Ron Hulbert from Orlando, Florida, and Lynn Nakamoto from St. Petersburg, Florida. So let me turn it over to Lynn and give you a little information.
All right. Welcome everybody to Friday Night Live. Tonight we're excited because we have some awesome leaders in the house. We have three presenters who are going to talk about targeted traffic. It's a big deal. So we're lucky to have three individuals who have been with ONPASSIVE for quite a while. And I believe that most of you know who they are. They are very, very prominent within ONPASSIVE. They do quite a bit of service to the company, to Ash Mufareh, and to the founders. So we really appreciate what they do for us. They are going to be speaking tonight, and they are Marty DeGarmo, Dan Street, and Mike Ellis. So it's going to be a free-flowing discussion, nothing formal as far as slides and all of that. So I'm really excited to have them here with us because they have such a wealth of knowledge and real world experience. So let's give it up for our three speakers today. Let me make sure. I think I have to make sure I make them co-hosts. Give me a second. So they'll have the ability to Okay, I'm gonna have to, I don't see an option to make Dan. Oh, I know why. Marty, can you make Dan and Mike co-host? Because you're the host, I can't do it. Unless you want to transfer the host to me. Okay, so Dan, you're co-host now.
Hey, Lynn, I don't mean to interrupt you. Tiana is asking me for the deaf number. Is that in there today?
It's in the post. Yeah, I'll give it to her now because we always post the phone numbers for the webinar.
Thank you,
So
Lynn.
that yeah, thank you so much. So when Mike has, okay, Mike has co-host. So take it away, Marty, Mike, and Dan.
Alrighty, I'll get started and they can fill in and help me look like I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, targeted traffic. Holy cow, is that a big word? 18 years ago this year, I got online and the main reason was I wanted to make money. Everybody knows my story. I am so sick and tired of telling my story. Anyway, but it's not that unique from everybody else. I mean, you get online, you want to make money, and every day, every week, every month, you find out there's something you didn't know that you needed to know. But the big one, the number one grand problem is traffic. And it's targeted traffic. That's the one. You can get traffic, but can you get targeted traffic? It's very, very difficult. And let me give you the definition of targeted traffic. Targeted traffic is qualified traffic that goes to your, is site visitors coming through to your website on a landing page, most likely actively looking for the product or service that you are sharing. They're there because that's what they're looking for. Now, the reason that is so important on targeted traffic is a lot of people can generate traffic. Not a lot. Some people can generate traffic, but it's traffic of eyes. Somebody clicks, somebody's looking, but they're not interested. They're not there for that. Everybody online does what we call surfing. And they're surfing around, they're clicking here, they're clicking there, they're clicking here. Targeted traffic means John Smith goes on and says, hey, I want to know about a web service, a web service like Zoom. We all know what that is. Well, when things come, push comes to shove, and we come out from OConnect, targeted traffic will be as soon as John Smith punches in certain keywords about some type of Zoom or whatever, ONPASSIVE will say, well, here you go, and they'll put it right in their face. Here it is, and give the information about it. And John Smith will click on it, look at it, and says, wow, this is amazing. He becomes what you call, he puts his information in. He is what you call a opt-in at that point. He opted into your website. And then from there on, there's a process of dealing with John Smith to help him understand what he's really looking at. And at some point, the name of the game is get him to pay. Okay. But targeted traffic is probably, if not the hardest thing to do. I'll give you an example. You could go out right now, go buy really, really cheap traffic. Really cheap. We have created traffic for as low as 1 penny a click. Now, are you getting tens of thousands of people for a small amount of money? Absolutely. But is that what you're really looking for? No, the answer is no, because you're getting all these people that never have any intentions on buying your product. Now, you could go from that to $10 a lead. Do you want that? I don't. It's expensive. You really want them to click and pay. Now, depending on the process, how much are you willing to pay for traffic to get them to click on your product? So the elusive trying to target somebody that's looking for what you want, that's where this is so massively a pain in the neck, because that's what we've done. Now, as time goes on, you learn how to do that, and you can say, okay, I'm going to go at this person, this country, this time, this age, and then you put in like that, and you start to get qualified visitors and narrow it down from qualified visitors to targeted traffic. Very, very difficult. Absolutely. That's why, even though myself, Mike, and Dan created teams of thousands, could we have people duplicate what we did? Absolutely not. We tried. Does not work. If you notice, some of the gurus will tell you, follow me and I'll make you fisher of men, or hate whatever. And you go with them, but when it comes down for them to share what they're doing, they don't know how. Worse than that, some of the gurus are a one-hit wonder. I talked to Mike and Dan about it before. They did something really big one time, and they live off of that for months and years to come. And how you can tell if somebody's system no longer works, they start selling you the system they used, because they're willing to sell it, because that's another way of income. They wouldn't sell it if it worked, okay? Trust me. So if they get to that point and they're selling you this massive, unbelievable system on how to develop traffic, they're in trouble. That's usually about the last step. Now, this can work for some people for years. It does work for years because people follow them because they don't know any better. What we're going to get in ONPASSIVE is targeted traffic for one price, and the company's going to do all the work for you. That alone, forget the products, that's already mind-blowing. But if they drive traffic for you, targeted traffic, you're going to win. We've had what everybody thinks it's the website. Websites are important, no doubt. But if you don't have targeted traffic, you can have the most beautiful website in the world and nobody's coming. What good is a beautiful poster or a website if it's behind a rock somewhere in Arizona? Nobody's going to look, they're not going to go to look for it. You have to present it. It has to come to them. And everything with ONPASSIVE traffic-wise, that's what that does. Now, because Mr. Mufareh and his tech team have power is money. How much traffic can they buy? He already told us he will be able to have tens of millions of dollars involved in this campaign. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of power. And that's a lot of eyes coming to what's going on. Let me tell you the difference between traffic and campaigning and targeted traffic. Targeted traffic, AI can jump in and start deciphering who wants what. It's not just this guy's interested in clicking on this. It will actually keep breaking it down to a minute thing where normally you have to do that manually. I had to go in every week and analyze who's clicking, are they serious, what age group, what country, how old, what time of day, and you do that. And then you eliminate what's not working and you stay with what you got, and you do that over and over and over. The problem is, by the time you get to where you got a beautiful number, you're at 45 cents a lead. They're top tier leads. Top tier means people that are willing to pay for people that are looking, and they're targeted. The problem, that doesn't stay. Even the target moves. So as that's moving, you got to move with it. And too many people, marketers, fall in love with what they're doing. This works, I don't have to change it. Listen to the fat guy from New Jersey. If you fall in love with what you're doing and how you're doing it, you will lose in the long run because it's a moving target. This is why I recommend to people, if you want to go market, you're better off jumping off a cliff, okay? It's not what people think. You get a company like ONPASSIVE, that's why I was blown away. They're going to do that for you. You're an expert. You become the expert. You don't have to worry about shifting and does this work and does that work. AI will do it in milliseconds. It doesn't sweat. It doesn't go to sleep. And it's analyzing and adjusting constantly in behalf of Lynn, Ahmad, Mike Ellis, Dan Street, John, whoever, constantly while you sleep. That's the power of quality targeted traffic. I could get into more details because there's different types of traffic that you can get. There's organic traffic, and eventually you will get viral traffic, which is people will come, and the people will come because people came, and it starts snowballing. You'll get I'm here, he's there, somebody came, what's going on over there? Then they come, and it just can blow up into some balloon. That's beautiful. Doesn't happen that much, but it's beautiful. Do I believe that viral effect will take place in ONPASSIVE? My opinion, the amount of people that come into ONPASSIVE paid and the amount of people that come in from viral could be even. In fact, viral could pass the paid, because when you get viral, it's mind-blowing. People are sharing what they see. That costs you nothing. That doesn't cost anything. People are sharing what they see, like a movie. MGM's not paying for you to share it. So it's free advertisement. But anyway, targeted, that's what I wanted to say about targeted traffic, and Mike and Dan can jump in and add their part. But that's what we worked on. That was the hardest part of what we did in the last 15 years. Easy. But we got to where we could do it. The problem is, if you can't share it and you can't duplicate what you do, you're constantly digging a hole, constantly. That's all I have right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll
That's really,
jump
really
in here.
interesting. Oh, please do.
I can jump in next. Yeah, I mean, Marty brought up some great points, and I think it's important to keep in mind that we're simply going over the fundamentals of driving targeted traffic, and we're describing a little bit, Marty was describing a little bit about what has worked for us in building several online businesses over the years. But remember, ONPASSIVE is, as Marty was saying, remember, ONPASSIVE is going to be driving that targeted traffic to your site and following up on your customers through AI. And we constantly remind everyone that you don't have to be a marketer with ONPASSIVE to be successful. But those of you who are interested, it can definitely accelerate the pace that you achieve your income goals. So what we did is we established a marketing budget. Back when we first got into ONPASSIVE, and we believed in it, and we thought, hey, this is the best thing. We established a marketing budget and spent time every day building an online presence. In other words, we took that consistent action every day to build our business. But unfortunately, there's a huge number of people out there that aren't willing to make that kind of a sacrifice. It is trial and error. And much of what we tried didn't work the first time, but we stayed with it and kept in constant communication with each other. And I think this is a big key. Marty, Mike, and I were a team, and that was key for us because we could collaborate and kick things around, what was working, what wasn't working, what we needed to tweak here and there. And the cool thing about ONPASSIVE is that it gave us the time, because ONPASSIVE was the real deal and it increased in value every single day. We had time to develop that message and get it out to people and have them see it over and over again. And we couldn't have done this if the company wasn't the real deal. So the value, like I said, the value just kept getting better. And as a result, our message got better. And our follow-up autoresponders had a chance to kick into gear and work. And that's the other thing you have to keep in mind. It isn't just, getting targeted traffic. Let's say you get some opt-ins, as Marty was talking about. You got to be able to follow up with those people. And we were able to tell the story of ONPASSIVE through our autoresponders, which included text and videos, mostly that came from Mike. I'd write the text and throw in Mike's videos, and we'd all approve it. And then we'd end each autoresponder with a message of what they will be receiving in the next email. So we started telling a story. Like the first email that we sent to somebody that opted in was a thank you for responding to our site. And then the next email, we maybe throw in a video and tell the story. We were able to develop that story of ONPASSIVE. And we gave them teasers, So our last series that we did, I think it contained probably around 15 messages, which we ran continually, because this not only helped us with opt-in signups, but this is another key. It gave ONPASSIVE constant exposure, because ONPASSIVE was the real deal, and we were able to develop that message over a period of time and continue our marketing. It gave us constant exposure, and it gave ONPASSIVE constant exposure and credibility. So, just remember that, studies have shown that it takes a consumer at least 7 times before looking at something 7 times before they make a purchasing decision. So, you're constantly following up with these people and wanting to make them, trying to do all you can to make them make a decision to pay. And so it requires, I heard a guy saying marketing requires to be intelligently patient and constantly evaluating your methods. Marty was talking about that. You can't just do it once and not evaluate what you're doing. And we were blessed to have each other as a team to be able to feed off each other and kick stuff back and forth. And we were at the right place at the right time. And God bless ONPASSIVE for staying with us and developing a company that is increasing in value all the time. So, Mike, fill in a little bit and let me know what I missed.
You can tell why Dan writes all our texts just by listening to him. He is far and above so much better than Marty and I. It's why he writes all of our texts. I want to start by saying hi to Lynn and Ron. You guys always have a lively group. Oh, am I? No, I'm not muted. Yeah, you guys always have a lively group, and it's always fun.
Oh, hi, Lynn, Ron. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got to say hi to him. And Marty was right. When you start talking about targeted traffic, it is such a massive, massive topic, but it's a really, really fun topic because Marty, Dan, and I have been doing this as long as we have. We always get excited about the traffic side of it. Now, everybody that's in ONPASSIVE today, okay, if you listen to Marty, if you listen to Dan, you know that driving traffic, qualified traffic, is very, very hard because it's just not about the traffic. Dan just went over that. There are so many other things you have to do as people come into your business and look at what you have to offer. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And Dan was wrong. We did not have 15 autoresponders. We had 31, okay? Now think about that, 31 autoresponders, all of it text. Dan did all the text. Maybe 2/3 of them had videos. Marty would come in and review them. I mean, this was a group effort putting all of this content out there. So it's really, really hard, especially if you're a lone wolf and you don't have anybody to work with. So I kind of want to come at targeted traffic from a different direction. Now we know that Ash Mufareh is brilliant. And we know when we start marketing, and Ash told us this, he wants to start flexing his muscles. He is all about marketing. He is all about traffic. And when you think about the traffic of OnPassive, it is going to be unprecedented. It is going to be so good, you're not going to believe it. And when we think about traffic, these are all traffic is people are coming in, they're buying advertising so that, as Marty said, you get good qualified eyes in front of what you're doing, people that come there and want to buy. Now, when we think about the traffic worldwide, and we look at this market, and this is going to excite you guys. When you look at the traffic market, in other words, the advertisers that sell marketing to other people, that market today is $710 billion in revenue a year. Massive, absolutely massive. Almost $750 billion in one niche, traffic, targeted traffic. And I believe over time, and I don't think it's going to take that long, I believe OnPassive will dominate the traffic niche that goes throughout the world. What does that do for the founding members here? 90% of the founding members are not going to market. It's just the way it is. It's just too difficult. It's hard to do. You have to develop content, all of those things. You will not market. Prove me wrong. If you do, great. I think that'll be great. But it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. So 95% of the people will not market. OnPassive, because of their traffic sources, we look at that $710 billion in advertising that is sold, traffic. I believe OnPassive will come in and take what? The first year? 10%, 15%, 20%, 30%? I don't know, but it's going to be a lot. And when you think about traffic, OnPassive is going to be the major traffic source online. And everything that OnPassive does benefits you and I as founding members. For me, that's the most exciting part about OnPassive traffic. Now there's more, but that's the most exciting part about it, because every founding member that is here and all 1.2 million founders are going to benefit from a $750 billion niche that OnPassive is going to dominate. Now you can get very, very excited about that. And as I talk, I don't mean to put people off about trying to market themselves or trying to market another product. You can do that. Put your toe in the deep water, go for it. But understand that OnPassive, the business of OnPassive, is going to make you way more money than you ever thought about marketing an individual product or trying to market OnPassive on your own. Okay. That too is very, very difficult. Now, Marty, Dan, and I, we will market OnPassive above and beyond what OnPassive is doing. It's what we do. It's what we've done for 12, 15 years. I mean, not only do we know how to do it, but we really enjoy it. We enjoy doing what Ash Mufareh is going to be doing. Now, Ash Mufareh is just heads and tails above us, but we enjoy doing that. And if you want to come in and try and market OnPassive, or if you want to try and market another product, that's great. It's fine. And I would recommend you come in, and because all the tools are there, because all the IT tools of OnPassive are there, they're going to give you everything you need to market online. So you'll have a head start from people that are not in OnPassive and don't have all those tools. Number one, they don't even know what the tools are, and they don't know where to find them. They're all here in OnPassive. But as we look at OnPassive, and you want to accelerate your business, you want to cut timeframes, you want to do something. I have to do something. That's a really, really good attitude. What can you do? OnPassive, what are they? They're going to be the leading traffic source in the world. Best traffic in the world, targeted traffic. What can you do to accelerate your business? In OnPassive, you're going to be able to come in and buy additional traffic. And Marty has talked about this, Dan has talked about it, I've talked, many founders have talked about it. If you want to accelerate your business, once your business gets going and the apples start to flow in, you're going to have enough money to augment the traffic that you're already getting. Because we get traffic as we come in, pay the subscription fee, we get a certain amount of traffic to build our business. When the matrix is right, when the numbers are right, and you have enough money coming in, you can actually go out and buy additional traffic from OnPassive, and you can direct it anywhere you want. And rather than trying to set up a very, very elaborate a landing page, a sales page and follow-up page, a whole funnel. Just let OnPassive do it. They are going to be changing this stuff up all the time. And Dan said it earlier, AI using artificial intelligence, they're going to be, and Marty said, they're going to be analyzing everything. And when Marty, Dan, and I do this, Marty analyzes the stuff that we give him, and then the changes Dan has to make, I have to make, everything is being analyzed on a daily, weekly basis. So we're changing things all the time, not with OnPassive. You buy the additional marketing packages, whatever the cost is, and I don't know what that cost is yet. You go over and you say, okay, OnPassive, here's some additional traffic, run it through what you've built for me, my 100% automated business, the sales platform hooked up to AI, all that stuff. Go ahead and start running more traffic through it. Now, AI is going to be looking at that, and your matrix, the amount of people coming in and buying from OnPassive and landing into your organization, is going to continue to get better and better and better and better. It's remarkable what OnPassive is going to do for all of us. So when we start to look at targeted traffic, it is such a big topic. And we're really just going over the base right now. Marty could tell you some story. Well, I'll tell you one. We had one guy come in and he's talking to Marty, and he goes, "Listen, Marty, I want to know what you're doing. You need to tell me what you're doing. I don't just want you to just sit out. You're hiding stuff from me." So Marty goes, "Okay, I'm going to tell you exactly what we're doing." And Marty started. And about 5 minutes into the conversation, the guy says, whoa, stop, Marty. I don't want to do that. I mean, it's just hilarious. But that is marketing. It's an educational process. And Marty, Dan, and I, it's taken us 12 years to learn how to do what we do. I think we're the only two guys out there that are stupid enough to work this thing 12 years. But we're glad we did. We're glad we're with OnPassive. We understand what Ash is doing. We're excited about what Ash is doing. And believe it, well, of course you believe it. We learn stuff from Ash almost on a weekly basis when he talks, things that we hadn't considered to implement into our marketing strategies. And Ash has just touched the surface of it. And again, that's really exciting for Marty, Dan, and I. We know Ash is a master marketer. We know Ash knows so many things about marketing, and we catch those things every time he talks, a little bit at a time. And when we have the opportunity to sit down one-on-one with Ash and just talk marketing, number one, you won't be able to shut Ash up. He loves it. You won't be able to shut up Marty or Dan either. They love it too. But it'll be a good conversation just to listen to. So that's the start of targeted marketing. Marty, Dan, you can come in and go from there any direction you want to go. So I know there's a lot of directions to go to. Go ahead.
Well, I got to be careful because sometimes I go down a rabbit hole and I don't know where to stop, but I usually get warned on that. So, but part of traffic too is definitely the biggest part is follow-up, but also making a system that gets people where you want with them thinking that they decided the path. Boy, I just said a lot and I don't even know what it is, but we've had people, I'll give you an example. This is just, it's mainly for fun, but I did an ad on Facebook and we found out that, I don't know what it was, 65, 70% of the people do not want to push a button that tells them to go anywhere. Just no freaking way are they going to do that. So we had to come up with a way to make them go where we want them to go without pushing the button. So, and I'm going to tell you, it's crazy. So I said, okay, let me find an app that it's kind of AI, right? Except we had to program it, but we made it so that instead of pushing the button, they could leave a comment and ask for info. Now I've told some people this story, it was so funny. So, and then they said, okay, I went back to Mike and Dan and said, I found an app that if somebody comes and leaves a comment about the ad, we can direct them somewhere. Well, where are they going? We'll figure that out in a minute, but we can direct them. So what do we do? So it was so funny. I said, to prove a point that people will do whatever you do, let's try this. I said, the ad's done, Dan, I want you to go to the ad, go to the comment and say what your name is, how old you are, and you want more info. It was that simple. My name's Mike Ellis. I'm 58 years old. More info, please. Now, the app that I purchased would respond to the comment, whatever the comment was. Now, not everybody says info, please. Some people will say, what's up? Some people will say, yeah, I want to know, or whatever. So I had hundreds of comments pre-written into this app. And I told the app, if you hear this comment, do this with that person. Now, I want to tell you the funniest thing of all. So we set up this business and people put it in, and I want to tell you, 99.9% of the people said their name and how old they were. Now, the age had nothing to do with anything. But because Mike and Dan did it, everyone did it. Now, did they lie about the age? I don't care. They did it because, well, he put his name, I guess I got to do that. I could have did, no kidding, you could go, Mike Ellis, 55 years old, my favorite color is green. Now, what the heck does that have to do with anything? I don't know, but it teaches you on how people think. Now, then what we did was they would leave there because they said info, please. As soon as they said info, please, they were contacted to go here. Now, in their mind, they made that decision, not me. They're not pushing no button. You're not telling me where to go. Well, by the way, after they got the info, they went exactly where they would have gone if they pushed the button. So it's a maze of all these directions. And I tried to compare it to somebody, if you look down at the Los Angeles freeway, 99% of the people look at it and say, that's a freaking mess. But the guy that designed it knows where everybody's going. That's a system that you have to build. And I asked Mufareh in Pluto over that type of stuff, but that's how you have to work in marketing. So it's not just traffic. You have to work with different people's between their ears of how to get them to where you want them to go. And I'll tell you how involved we had to get. If we were able to take John Smith, who didn't want to push the button, leave a comment, go to another area, back to another area, and then feed him into ONPASSIVE Nation Facebook group. When he got there, he also got an email that said, you are now in ONPASSIVE Nation. Look to the top of the page, you'll see a video. Please watch it. You know what the video said? It told him why he was here. And people said, why would you tell people why they're here? You know why? Go surf something Saturday night. You're really interested. You shut your computer down. You leave. You trip over the dog, bloody your nose. The kids got to go to school. You get up to you forgot what you did the night before. You constantly have to remind people, hey, by the way, Friday night you were here. You watched 20% of this video. Do you want to watch the rest? Yes. You got to tell people step by step where they're at, why they're there, and what's the reason. And that's how complicated it could get. So when we found ONPASSIVE, I died and went to heaven because it eliminates all of that nonsense. And marketers do not tell you when you join that shiny object, that's the kind of stuff you're going to have to do to make it online. Because in the long run, it's not just traffic. It's how you deal with traffic. How do you deal with people? And everybody's a little quirky. You know, we are, everybody here. And that's the part of traffic and building a system or building a team that nobody wants to talk about, because who in their right mind would do that? They're not going to. So the 2 or 3%, they make the money and we follow like sheep. And they don't want to tell you that, no, what I'm telling you is not true. So we're in a very good place. Like Mike said, we have won the golden ticket. Not only did we play the lottery, we know we're going to win. And you don't have to do all that stuff. Like Mike said, I love marketing because it is fun and it makes you think. But it's a lot more fun if you're making money, even if you don't know what you're doing. And ONPASSIVE is going to pay me no matter what I'm doing now. So that's the part where everybody here doesn't have to walk through that crap. and they're going to get paid. So, and like Mike said, I recommend this very highly, and I'll stop talking, believe it or not. If you get in and you start making apples, take a percentage of those apples and reinvest it in traffic. Build quick in the beginning. You'll never get the opportunity again. If you got an extra 1,000, throw that 1,000 in and say, Mr. Mufareh, tighten me up. I want all the traffic you can send me, because you'll never get this opportunity again. And then we talk about viral, and I'm not going there. But when the company goes viral, you want to take advantage of that. And believe it or not, I am done for right now.
I'll throw one more thing in there. The subject and what we've been talking about is targeted traffic, and I can't tell you how many times we would look at a demographic and say, okay, let's target this group or this country or these people or whatever, and we would get thousands and thousands of opt-ins, but nobody would pay. They would register, but they wouldn't pay. And you got to keep in mind that there's a lot of people out there that, like Marty was saying, will surf the internet and they'll register with a whole bunch of different things, but they'll never pay. And so that's why we ended up getting thousands of pending founders. We got people that would register, but they wouldn't pay. So that's where follow-up is a big key. You have to follow up with these people on a regular basis. And you also have to look at your demographics. Well, what are you looking for? Well, you're looking for people with OnPassive. It's pretty much everybody. We've proven that. But we targeted different countries where people might have a computer, might have a cell phone, might have this, and targeted different age groups. And we experimented with that for a long time. And we had some success with different demographic groups that we didn't have with others. So it's an art, it's a science it's a very, very fun, as Mike was saying. It's fun and it's rewarding, but at the same time, it's a lot of hard work and there's a lot of follow-up involved.
Thanks. Marty, can I ask another question, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
I understand targeting traffic pretty good. What I don't understand is once this goes live, okay, there's 1.2 million founders. How is our businesses going to be funded out of that? You know what I'm saying? Like you said something about a rotator one time.
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
How are you going to get paid?
How am I
Marty,
going to get paid?
I'll start it and you can finish it up, Marty. It really is pretty simple. For a long time, well, for the last couple of weeks, I've been coming on webinars and people are real concerned about their domain name. Don't be. I haven't even thought of a domain name yet. The way we're going to get paid, as OnPassive drives the traffic, brings the customer in, everything that the customer is going to see is OnPassive. They're not going to see my domain name. They're not going to see yours. They're not going to see anybody's. But our domain name will be in a rotator. This is the way I believe it's going to happen. And as customers come in and buy, who's ever up on that rotator gets a customer. Boom, 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 boom. Remember, we're going to be supposedly projected. We're going to be bringing in 2.4 million customers a day. So those rotators they're going to be spinning like a Rolls Royce. They're going to be going down the road at about 120 miles an hour. So that's how we're going to get paid. We all get put on different rotators. And there's not just going to be one. There's going to be several of them. And as they come in, when your company name is there, you'll get that customer. Customer's never going to know who you are. They're never even going to know you're involved because OnPassive is managing all of this. So I think that's the way it's going to happen. Marty, you can chime in if you'd like on maybe that's the way.
No, it's funny. I had this conversation with the tech guys earlier. You are going to build your brand separately of what OnPassive is doing. And I say to that, thank God, because you really don't, you're going to have thousands of customers in your so-called downline or on your team eventually. and they're not going to know who you are. I don't want them to know who I am. They're not going to want to know who you are, because if they get a product and they want answers on the product, they're going to go to the company. In some cases, AI. They're going to go to artificial intelligence, ask a question about that product. And we've seen AI working in the back office right now. It's going to get smarter and smarter and smarter, and it will be able to answer any questions they have. And if it doesn't, it will eventually go to a live speaker in ONPASSIVE. That's what we want. Now, the other part of what Ron was asking was the rotator. Now, I don't know how many rotators they'll have, but I mean, we use a rotator, by the way. I've used a rotator for years, 10 years, 15 years. All that is the company puts all of the registrations in, all of the registration links from Lynn, Armand, Chris Johnson, Norel, Karina, Ron, Gladys. I mean, everybody, 1,200,000. You think, oh my God, what about that? But I want you to keep in mind, it's probably not one rotator. It's probably thousands of rotators. And every time somebody clicks on that product that popped in front of them at 3 o'clock in the morning while you're asleep, if your name came up, it's your turn in the rotator. They give the information, they do all the stuff. If they buy that product tomorrow morning, you're going to get up and you're going to have a commission. And this will go on by the thousands and thousands and tens of thousands, 24/7, 7 days a week while you're sleeping. And we all heard, once you get to the point where you can make money while you sleep, you win. You will not have to work the rest of your life, right? You eventually can back down. That's what a rotator does. Now, I want my name, my registration in those rotators as much as I can. There's ways to have that happen. When we launch, you say, Mr. Mufareh, I'm making extra money. My bills are paid. I'm doing pretty well. I'm going to take this percentage, whatever it is. I don't know what the packages cost. I'm going to buy the maximum amount, but I'm going to buy the package. Hey, I want this much more traffic. And let's say that means that you are now in the rotator 100 more times. So the chance of you getting on your rotator when somebody buys is greater. Your chance of getting more opt-ins is definitely greater. And what happens? Eventually, you're going to get to that bottom line, as Mike Ellis has said, 2,999,000 times sooner than later. And there's one thing that we have no control over, and probably the most invaluable thing in the world, and that's time. I want to get there quicker. I don't want to think about working. I'm not doing it for that. I want to get where I want to get as quick as I can so I can have choices to do what I want. So I would reinvest in yourself. And what's a better way what better way than buying more traffic is there? There's none. But the rotator, that's all that, speak of the devil. Anyway, all that is you're buying more clicks, you're buying more visitors. And the rotator just is rotating around every time there's a click on a website. Now, keep in mind, I would not be surprised if there wasn't tens of thousands of websites, tens of thousands, maybe 100,000 websites being pushed out there all the time, daily, hourly, secondly. Now, what happens is your name on a rotator could be on every product there is, which I believe it will be. Your name, your registration will be on every package that's out there. That's another website. Your name, your registration will be on every reseller page that goes out there. And they're not going to know who you are. It doesn't matter who you are. The only time I think you will have a communication with somebody is if they become a reseller, because now they are you, not quite a founder, but they are, because you're a reseller too. Then you can communicate with them. Then you can work with them. Then you can help them build. And it's very easy. Now you don't have to have them duplicate what you know. You tell them, hey, your first $1,000, put it back in and buy more traffic. Now you have two people on your team doing the same thing you're doing. See, that's where leverage comes in. You just keep doing it. You bring people in, you tell them, buy the extra traffic when your pockets are full. The rest of the money, give it to people that need it. And you do that over and over and over in the beginning. And trust me, you will not believe what happens in a very short amount of time. That's leveraging, because people say, how are they going to market for 1 million people? Remember, everybody you bring in is another cash register in your business, because they're marketing for you and everybody on your team. They get one, you get one. You get one, you get one. Your 5 get one, you get 5. Plus you get one. And that gets bigger and bigger and bigger, because you leveraged what you're doing. You're leveraging what you're doing. That's why I tell people, instead of going for the shiny object and losing money, which everybody insists on doing, if you got 102 bucks, buy a position under yourself. You have to buy it from me. I don't care. I'm just saying, if you have the money, invest in who? Invest in you. Invest in you as quickly as you can. That's a big deal. Anyway, Dan, it's all yours.
No, I've got a couple of things to say before we get into the question part of the meeting. I don't want to turn anybody. Hang on. Yeah, I don't want to turn anybody off from the idea of them marketing. Okay. There are two sides of the coin to marketing, and I'll tell you the two sides. Marty, Dan, and I, the first 8 years we marketed, and remember, money's going out in this 8-year period. We didn't make a dime. We didn't make anything. Now, most people will say that's just absolutely insane, but it was necessary. You had to do that to understand what was necessary to do to actually start making money. The other side to that coin is Marty, Dan, and I got into a business, and in 4 days with our marketing, we banked $50,000, 4 days. Okay. Now that company at the end of that 4 days wasn't what we thought it was, and we didn't take a dime. We got out, we didn't take a dime, and we said, we can't do this because you lied to us. So there's two sides of the coin when we're looking at marketing. And I don't want to turn anybody else. Marty talked about you can have a beautiful site, but if traffic doesn't come in and see that site, it's not going to do any good. It's not going to do any good. No one's ever going to see it. Well, the reverse is true too. Remember, we have ONPASSIVE, we have targeted traffic. It's the best traffic in the world. You can put together a site that is just awful. It's absolutely awful. But if you have someone come into and I have seen this, by the way, if you have someone come into that site that is looking for what you have, they don't care what it looks like. So those are the two sides. You can literally go bankrupt trying to drive targeted traffic. No more with ONPASSIVE because they drive targeted traffic. And as you look at it and you refine what you're doing online, and with ONPASSIVE, it's not going to take people as long as Marty, Dan, and I took to do this. You're going to be able to cut those time frames too, because you have all the tools and you have targeted traffic. But it's still hard. But there are two sides to that coin. One, you can make a lot of money very, very quickly. And two, you can lose a lot of money very, very quickly. And even on ONPASSIVE, if you don't do it right, even though you have targeted traffic coming to whatever site you've built, and understand when you bring another business in and put it on the platform of ONPASSIVE, you have to do all that work. You have to do all the work that Dan talked about, that Marty talked about. And if you don't do it quite right, you can lose quite a bit of money trying to promote something in the wrong way. So there are two sides. If you are a marketer, we don't mean to turn you off on that, because we were in the same place you're in perhaps today. One of the things that Marty, Dan, and I learned a long, long time ago is know your audience, know who you're talking about. And the audience that we talk to, the people we talk to, they are us. They're us maybe 5 or 10 or 15 years ago, but we know everything that they're going through because we went through it. And it's really, really important that you understand who you're talking to when you start to develop a marketing system for a product that you have a passion for. But if you have that inclination, that goal to actually market something else, this is the right place to do it. ONPASSIVE it is the right place to spread your wings and really do the things you want to do. But like I said, Marty said, Dan said, 90% of the people here are not going to do that. And if you're not going to do that, as Marty just told you, invest in yourself, drive more traffic to ONPASSIVE. It will cut time frames. It will get you to that place where you're bringing in those finances that you want. Your goals that you've set are met quicker rather than, say, 3 months down the road rather than a month. So I just wanted to add that very, very quickly, Lynn, before you guys go on. But yeah, as you can see, we're pretty passionate about marketing. We could talk for hours about this. Go ahead, Lynn.
Thank you, Mike.
Dan, if you have something to
Yeah,
say.
Dan or Marty can chime in at any time as well. But
Let's take questions.
yeah, well, I was going to say, we want to acknowledge Ash Mufareh's presence here. He has said in the chat, you never have to worry about having enough prospects to talk to about your business offer. So I think that's something that's a big, big plus when we come into ONPASSIVE. We never have to worry about that. I mean, how much peace of mind will that give the layperson like myself, right? Never have to worry about prospects. That's the name of the game. If we're going to make money, you have to have prospects. But ONPASSIVE is going to do it all for us. Thank you very much, Ash, for saying that. It's very comforting to all of us here. All right, now we would like to go ahead and take questions from our attendees. First, we have William Norris. You can go ahead and unmute.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we do. We can hear you.
Thank you, Lynn. You know, I'm sitting here listening to Marty, Dan, and Mike, and you know, I'm realizing what they're saying is the total truth, because I'm kind of a student of that. I started my own business in 1993, a construction company, and I ran it for 20 years. And I can sell. I proved that because the first year I had 208 customers at the end of the year. And that's kind of hard to do when you're just starting out, but I did it. So, you know, I see something here, you know, they said earlier on that people don't know about the tools. Well, that's true. But there's another side that's deeper than that. There's people that don't know about the tools, but then they don't know how to use them either. That is even a bigger issue, whether it be how the tools work or how to operate the computer. You know, that's going to come into play. That's where ONPASSIVE is going to help so many people, because most of the people, the biggest majority of people here are not going to market. They don't know how. They don't know about the tools, and they don't know how to use them. So you know, I see where they're coming from there, and I see where Ash has probably thought about that many times, and it's probably one of the biggest reasons why he's done this, because he knows most of the people can't market, and if they could, they don't know how to use the tools. That was my downfall. I can sell. I didn't know about the tools, and I don't know how to use them. And it makes a difference. I mean, if you can't use them and they don't know what to do, then you're kind of sitting duck. So I totally agree with everything they're saying.
Thank you, William. Good
Thank you.
point. Thank you so much. All right, now let's keep aware of the time factor, right? 2-minute shares is probably a good amount of time per speaker, right? So let's keep a clock going. We have Virginia Dyke. You go ahead and unmute yourself, Virginia.
Hello, everyone. It's great to see you. I have a question. I have approached what could be a very big client, and I approached the manager because I live in a lifestyle village, and I spoke to the manager, asking permission to send a link and a video, and he said yes, and he's really interested. But he said to me, I need to show this to the owner of the village. But now the owner of this village happens to own 6 huge villages. So I wanted to approach the manager, the owner directly, but I could only do it through the manager. And the manager, as I said, is very keen. So I'm wondering, would you have a suggestion of another video or another link I could send just to prompt some action? If they're going to do this, I want them to do it now so I can get involved with them and show them how things work. I was at the hairdresser yesterday, and my hairdresser, I told her about what I was doing, and she said, "Can I join?" So I'm doing that today. I'm putting her on board, and other people as well are starting to be keen. But I've got some big clients that I want to go after. So does anyone have any suggestions?
Yeah,
I'm open to anything.
Let me take that one real quick, Virginia. Number one, it really depends on what you're going after these people for. If you're talking to these people with the intent of them coming in and becoming founding members, what you're doing is fine. Okay, and we can recommend other videos that you can send to them that will expand on the vision of ASH and ONPASSIVE. If you're going after these individuals as customers, it's a different thing. Which is it? Are you going after customers or are you going after founders?
Well, I'd like them to be founders, but I said link 49 because this is a big business. The villages are massive. So that's my dilemma. Do I take them on as founders or make them customers?
Well, if it just depends on their interest, Virginia. If they're interested in becoming a founder, you talk to them and you give them all the information they need. If they're probably going to, no, I know they're going to be able to use the tools of ONPASSIVE. They absolutely will be able to use the tools of ONPASSIVE. But you don't want to introduce customers to ONPASSIVE yet until they can actually come in and look at the real products. And that's coming very, very quickly. So it just depends on which direction you're going. Your hairdresser, get her signed up. It'll be the best thing you ever did for her, and she'll love you the rest of her life. But individuals that you think are going to come in and be customers, wait until we go into the global launch and they have access to the products so they can see them. And once they see them, it's a done deal. They're going to come in. So hopefully that helped.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll do the same. I've got some other people I want to approach. So I think I'm going to approach them as founders, and I think I'll bring them on board, I hope.
Thank you, Virginia. Thanks for asking a very valid question.
Thank you for your help. It's much
You're
appreciated.
welcome. You sure? All right, next we have Denbo McCary. Denbo McCary. Let me ask you to unmute 1 second. All right, go ahead and speak.
Thank you, Marty, Dan, and Mike. I think that was a very informative presentation. My question is, in fact, I'm overwhelmed, and we're just listening to what is being said here tonight. My challenge here, just like Williams have said earlier, when the hits start coming, that's the targeted traffic start coming, how do we evaluate, how do we manage it? I do know that we have the O chart that I'm sure will be part of it, but also will there be like a dashboard for one to look at what has come in to evaluate and follow up, just like you've said? That's my question.
Does somebody want to take that?
Yeah, I can start it out. As we go into the global launch and we're all on rotators, will there be a way to evaluate what's happening in our business? Yeah, I think so. I think there'll be something back there that gives you the volume, gives you the number of people that have come in, looked at it, the number of people that have actually bought. And that's your matrix. That's how you get your numbers if you're making money or if you're not making money. When you talk about follow-up with customers, you don't want to do that. You want nothing to do with customers. Again, ONPASSIVE, for ONPASSIVE, if it's another business, obviously you want to follow up. But if it's ONPASSIVE, you do not want to follow up with customers. That is ONPASSIVE's job. ONPASSIVE is going to manage all of that. They will do the follow-up. If they have a customer come in and the customer doesn't buy, and in a week's time, they're someplace out there in the ether of the internet, AI is following them. And if they come on and they ask the same question, something will come up. Well, do you remember O Connect? Do you remember O Staff? Do you remember O Academy? And they'll get them back in and continue to follow up until they either buy or they die. Now, we know because ONPASSIVE products are so good, they're going to buy. But we don't want to deal with any of the customers personally. It's just not something we want to do. I never want to see a customer in my life. I want ONPASSIVE to do all of that. Now, if they're independent resellers, the IT product, and they come in and they join your organization, absolutely, you'll want to reach out, and there'll be ways we can do that, and then get them started, get them understanding what ONPASSIVE is, what they're doing, how it can affect their life, how it can do all of these things for them. And we're going to have both. So hopefully that helped. I don't know.
Thank you very much. Yes, it does help. Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you, Denbo, for your question. Next, we have Judy Oliver. Come on down, Judy.
Okay. I am curious. I have a business I want to do called Family Tradition Foods. And I'm wondering, should I take one of my positions and use it just for that? Because it sounds like if you put it on your ONPASSIVE site, that they're going to split the leads, and I don't quite know how that would work with the rotator. Could you advise me, somebody?
Come on, guys, don't leave me out here in the cold. I can answer that for you. If you bring another company and you put it on the ONPASSIVE platform and you want to build this company, obviously you've done everything that you need to do, all the landing pages, the sales pages, the follow-up with the autoresponders, all of that's been done. And now all you need is traffic. I believe you're going to be able to go into your back office and determine how much traffic goes here and how much traffic goes there. Or you can go in and you can buy traffic specifically for this other business. Now, if you have several positions in ONPASSIVE, yeah, you can take the business, put it on one of those positions and drive that traffic through that business, okay? So I think there's a lot of different ways we can handle it. Again, Ash is very accommodating and it's very flexible. There are no limits on what we can and can't do. So really, however you see the best fit for you, whether it's on one site or it's on several different accounts, that's fine. I don't think that's a problem whatsoever. But the traffic side of it, you direct that. That's your deal.
Okay, so if I put it on an ONPASSIVE position that would normally get all of the traffic, I could go in there and link my business from there and say, today I want to put it 50-50, tomorrow I want to do 100% to Family Traditions. Is that kind of what you're thinking will happen?
I do. I believe you could do that, but here's the caveat, okay?
Mm-hmm.
ONPASSIVE, all your different accounts in ONPASSIVE, they're going to blow up. They're going to make you money. And as those apples come in, now you have flexibility to do whatever you want to do. The business that you're going to promote, maybe you're making $1 million with it today. I don't know. But if you're not making a lot of money with it, let ONPASSIVE build and then use the money that ONPASSIVE is bringing in to drive traffic through that business. Because every account in ONPASSIVE, it has such massive value. And Ash uses that word very, very often, value, value, value. I would let all of my accounts build until that matrix has enough money in there that I can invest in this other business. Mm-hmm. even if you're passionate about it. And the thing is, it's not going to take that long, Judy. ONPASSIVE, it's a powerhouse, guys. It's a powerhouse.
Yeah, I know you
makes
had
sense?
recommended that before, and I was thinking the same thing. Maybe I'd use the money, but then again, it's attractive thinking that I could get more traffic to it later.
You will be able to get more traffic to it later once you let ONPASSIVE build.
Okay. I got
Okay.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, your first thought was brilliant, Judy. I mean, that's the perfect way to do it. Let ONPASSIVE, fill your pockets, and then support your passion. You don't have to make money with your passion. You just want to get it out there. You want people to see it. You think it's valuable to them. That's terrific. Absolutely. We have a lot of people in on ONPASSIVE that's going to do that. And that's a terrific deal because you're trying to help people. But let's fill your pockets first.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thank you, Judy. Hope
Oh,
that
thank
helped you.
It did. Thank you.
Awesome. All righty. Well, I have a question that I have in mind today that I'd like to ask someone. My question is, how does ONPASSIVE do all the heavy work for us? And I'm going to ask Mr. Mufareh to answer that question.
Hi, Lynn. Thank you so
Hello.
much.
You're welcome.
That's a big question. And I appreciate the topic. That is a very, very exciting topic. Friday evening, what better than being with our beloved founders? I thank you for all the speakers I just heard. Thank you, Ron, for the invitation. Let's zoom out a little bit, then we kind of zero in on the topic. For the bigger picture ONPASSIVE, before you look at anything, I advise you to consider preventing a headache or maybe a head spinning symptoms that you're going to have once you get it. Up until now, I'm not summing all of that together because I was just busy building that word Mike mentioned, which is value. So I thought there are a couple of ways for marketing. Either you talk a big talk and then you see what happens, and then you, okay, and then you figure out the value. So that's why we're often disappointed and, you know, things are not as they were promoted. I decided to do it reverse engineering way, which I thought I'm gonna pile value until no brain on planet Earth will look at what we have and will say, let me think about it. It will be dumb dead if somebody would look at ONPASSIVE for more than 2 minutes. Not entirely, not the whole picture, it will be difficult, but whatever corner or channel they come to ONPASSIVE and look at it, it will be irresistible. It will be hard to refuse. That is a bigger selling strategy. So pile the value. I'm going to tell you how easy it is to market, okay? So imagine with me one video. You see the panel here? If you're seeing on a laptop, you're going to see a big screen. Imagine this is a playlist, okay? And then at the top or on the side menu, we can have products, pay structure, company, history, background, leaders, team, locations, and each one, if you click on it, okay, it will give you a 2-3 minute professional production company, Hollywood level video. That's it. Oh, okay. So I see what, oh, bless. Okay. No further explanation needed. And then one complete master video, a few minutes that will sum up anything. But when the video says, oh, mail, you would get it. When it says products or IT, you would get it. It's already broken down. So you can have bites or you can look at the whole, zoom out and look at the whole picture. That is easy. That's just like for anybody to spend less than an hour, but it's endless and you will get all the details. But I'm not looking at selling that package yet. I'm looking for visionaries. which is the definition of somebody who sees the invisible. Leaders, to really have a higher level of trust, value, belief, faith, and desire and passion before they see, oh, okay, it's easy. It's easy. If somebody would look at it, oh, okay, I pay a couple $100, whatever it is, it's easy. I'm not looking for that mentality. That's somebody, okay, some mutual benefit. But now we're building with leaders, exceptional, exclusive people. That's the difference. So I don't want you to sweat about the details. That's a fun part. Okay. So what and how do we do all of that? If I wanted to build a business, okay, just for one individual, that is Ash, I'm going to need exactly most of the elements in ONPASSIVE. Up until now, in my life, professional life, I have not seen a solution that sums up and piles all of those solutions in one place. So if I go and my business, like Virginia, I believe she mentioned, okay, a family business, or I sell shoes, okay. I'm going to need a place where I register a domain name. Then I'm going to need a place where I host that domain name, make it live, make it visible on the HTTPS or www. To go on the worldwide net. Then after that, I'm going to find a designer and do it. And then I'm going to provide a content or content writer. And then I'm going to, have a registration process. I'm going to have a merchant. I'm going to have a follow-up process. I'm going to need. So I will go through that anyway. Except I will be the only one who's benefiting and supporting the idea because it goes back to me. Why not doing exactly what I'm doing, but make it available for the masses, replicate it using the power of humans, replicate, do it at a scale /AI. To automate and replicate and let the machine do the heavy lifting. So it is very overwhelming to do this, to develop it. But it's very simple. Like I said, I could really make it a show for you, that easy for the end user. That is not the worry of what they have to do. So I decided, let me struggle with that along with the teams, those who get paid, and let the public or the users enjoy our work and heavy lifting. So how does it work? It's complicated. It's going to make your head spin. You're going to have a headache. A lot of people would quit, maybe 2 months in the process. You are going to have a stubborn, hard-headed brain to not to quit or to go after this. So I like the fact that it is complete. I like the process that we're not building a one brand, okay, or one domain name. We're build everybody's the hero. So now we can go back and just talk about the topic. I brought with me a cord because you have to strangle me to stop. I mean, 2 minutes or 5 minutes are not going to be fair for that. But no, it's my passion. You know this. You're going to have to choke me to be able to stop talking about marketing. I love it, and I can never have enough of it. Why? Because when you're confident about what you do and you've tried it and it works, okay, you want to share it with your loved ones. Fortunately, it's a big base, my loved ones. Okay, so I will, you care about your people, you want to impress them. So I love to flex and show and be able to impress you. Now, traffic is never a complete process up until now. Remember how we talked about the technology and the tools to build a business or to manage anything nowadays online. That's one thing. But also now, okay, so let's say you managed to put a business there, but now you need eyes on your product or offer, business book, whatever pitch you have, right? And how do you do that? That's the determining fatal factor for most businesses, where people get stuck, or businesses. If you cross that challenge, there's a good chance you're going to make it. Insanity is to go and work what worked for John 20,000 years ago, I don't know, or 10 years ago, and think it's going to work for you. So there are so many variables. The most beautiful thing about marketing is a very dynamic process, and it's not a syntax. It's not a formula that works for everybody. Okay, there's so many variables, and if you think you're going to do it in a scientific way, yes, to a degree. But if you don't have the art and the brain mechanics and flexibility to piece up all those different areas of marketing, you're going to miss something. So let me tell you something. Having enough visitors to your website, that's good. Having a good or bad website, that's one factor, yes. But that's not everything. So let's talk about those visitors, okay? I've never said traffic. It's not bulk traffic. I have the word targeted traffic. I have the word exclusive traffic. I have the word relevant traffic. I have the word AI-driven traffic. So all those, you know, I'm happy to break them down for you. So for example, okay, you go and purchase any item online. Almost every e-commerce website or email provider or any platform online is going to have a pre-checked box at the bottom of the transaction. You're buying shoes, but it's going to offer you socks. Or it's going to say in fine prints, please keep me posted or keep sending me special offers to my email. All that. It's already checked. It's a tiny, it's hard to see. It's there. That is called a co-reg, okay? R-E-G stands for registration. It's you register, they kind of like twisted it in there. It's like a bug without your permission. And it's there, it's hard to see it. So now you become a lead, but a co-reg lead. Yeah, I bought his shoes, but I'm not interested in under panties or, you know. So it is what they sell, and now you're bombarded. And then, you know, it becomes not untargeted. Two, there is something about the device. Your spouse or family member use the device to purchase once, but you never have an interest in that product. Also, the geofencing that we have in OTracker, which just to add on to what Mike said to Virginia, it's going to allow you to select a time frame when to send and not to send traffic to a selected domain name. 1, 2, amount or ratio of traffic. So you do have that ability. So don't worry about that, okay? It's one of the features in OTracker. So the nature of that lead potential prospect. So you're looking essentially for a sale or for people, actual people to join your business. You might be selling a class, so you're looking for people, not an item, right? Like Academy, or you need people with hearts to use Oh Bless or to respond to follow your own net, or one of the social platforms that you're looking for followers and influencers. So you're looking either for people or items to sell, right? Or to attract. All right. So if you use the same mechanism on attractive, I often previously opted in something, you make a reservation on a restaurant, but then you start having offers for something really not that relevant, entertainment or something else. So that is a turning off point. If you're not on target with your prospect, that will turn them off. They will walk away. So don't think, tricking or all those guru tactics. Yeah, smart. But listen, the best way is value and trust and honesty. If you connect with people, you may have less followers or prospects or sales or transactions, but more effective. So there's another thing is qualified. Do you hear me? I say the word qualified. Okay. Traffic. Qualified meaning you could have 1 billion people looking at your website, but they're dead broke. Or what you're offering is above their capacity, financial budget. What's the use of those? If they receive 30,000 emails from, let's say, a network or a business in a day, essentially the same offer, me. What do you think that's going to do to the prospect, to the buyer, to the potential customer? Turn them off. So the same thing that most people think are good or smart, or actually they are fatal mistakes. They're deadly to marketing. So you want to make sure the traffic, number one, relevant, okay? And qualified. Qualification, entails financial ability. Have they ever bought? Do they have a credit card? Do they have a wallet to purchase? Do they know the language? So motion and traffic on the website, yeah, you could have heavy traffic and just have a heavy hosting bill for us. No one is buying anything. They don't know what you're talking about. It's a different language. Relevant, qualified, exclusive. Cannot sell one visitor to everybody. When I send it to Engineer Mike, when I send one visitor, he owns it. I cannot have it. No one else will have it. They will not receive from everybody. They signed up for engineermike.com. That's all they know. There's no ONPASSIVE involved. So not all traffic is the same. And the process of what you do with them. All right. Do they really feel there's no one behind it? This is just a quick old, robotic autoresponder, just like not even connecting with them? Or does it use AI where it gives it to the right, website owner, relevant product, relevant language, time zone, currency, and make sure AI is telling Engineer Mike there is, Jerry or Bob right now on your website, make a contact with them immediately and add that element. So we've heard it before. The follow-up is where you either make it or break it. The money is in the follow-up. You're gonna have 1 billion people there and they try to call that phone or take a look at the website or something outdated. Just a lot of busy work, not productive work. So the follow-up process with our AI, the accuracy of it, giving you the tools, the completion of it, okay? If they didn't like O-Tracker, they would like O-Trim. If they don't like it, they would like, you know, O-Connect or OP. They would like something, okay? So having, you know, all the process covered without you having to do the heavy liftings, like Lynn said, that's the bottom line. It makes you a hero, attractive, professional. You cannot find a more, you know, or better looking website than Mike's website. So that is impressive. I want to look like that. So always and constantly, they're looking, can I do this? Is it possible if I become a part of his business, if I'm able to do that? But if I'm seeing that, and then Mike calls me and said, I'm not doing anything. I'm sipping my, you know, coconut water under a palm tree in Honolulu, right? Then, man, how do you do that? Oh, all I had to do is just follow me. You see? So it makes you more attractive. You're the hero. So all the variables, the offer, is it relevant? Okay. You know, a lot of time you just pushing something to people that they don't want it, and they might just want to get you off their shoulder one time. That is not sustainable business. You're going to have a lot of refunds, chargebacks. You're going to have people quitting. They're not going to be encouraged to share it. The fact that, you know, everybody's going to have instant results, that's what we focus on. Okay. It takes 3 to our plan that you will break even. So how hard is it for us to hook you up with 3? So day 1, as of now, I know I'm going to need, okay, 1 million times 3. So 3-4 million visitors to our business. Okay. Your domain name every day, do it until you have 3. Not going to happen day 1, but day 15, day 35, it will happen 1 at a time. And by the time you do it, now you have a bigger budget and all of that. Here's the beauty about that. Those who follow you, you don't become their upline. They're not your downline. We moved away from those terms, okay? It's just an inheritance. We've had it in the past, but now we've evolved into our own identity. We want to call them your team or your customer base, okay? Nobody's better. It's a circle. It's your base, okay? It's a win-win situation. You're not above them. You're not, you know, you just invited them, or you chose us to invite them on your behalf. Now, when that happens to them, you have a second generation of leadership. Now you will become a pro, because even those who followed you or the sales now replicating. They are replicating. Now you go to generation 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't go to the similar structure. I threw a tantrum just 2 days ago about my lawyers because I used the word pyramid. Oh, no, I didn't use the word pyramid. I did this. It was a visual conference. I did the word, oh, that's pyramid. I said, yeah, you caught me naked or what? Like, okay, it is a pyramid. Your government is a pyramid, okay? Your White House is a pyramid. Show me an organization. A school is what is wrong with that? It's a triangle. And you know what? I showed them on the record. I said, for the first time, we said we're an equal shape. So don't get mixed up with that shape or the structure. We could make it a cylinder, or a rectangle, whatever you like. Okay. The bottom line is there are so many variables in the marketing process. It's not 1, it's not 2, and none of them is a static thing. The time that you send the message to your recipient has a big factor on their decision. The medium, the platform that you send through has to do with it. If it's the first thing while they're still laying down in bed and they open, they're not ready to put a credit card or a purchase. Wrong timing, okay? Or 2, 3 a.m. in the morning. So to know the time zone, and there is a productive professional time zone, indicates business activities, that's when the pitch happens. All right. So we have statistics. We do the study, the research to know when is the peak when people put a credit card or make a purchase. Sunday noon after church, most people are watching football game. The last thing they want you to talk about business. So what days of the week, what time of the day? And if it's 10 a.m. in North Carolina, it is not 10 a.m. in Germany. So you have to be relevant, time zone, thanks to a tracker. You have to make sure everything is a moving part, is a variable. And I told you right from the beginning, the first thing, you're gonna have a headache. Second thing, it will make your head spin. That is normal. The good news, you don't have to go through that. We're aware of it, it's our passion. Hey, something that could be a struggle to you is somebody's passion or hobby, if you wish. That's a good thing. All right, my wife hates cleaning fish. Like if I fish, if I catch it, I either have to clean it, find somebody to clean it, or give it away. But she likes to eat it. Different, you see? So you are interested in the result, but you don't have to go through the process of cleaning nasty, stinking fish. Just gonna enjoy it. So that's why it is really not one thing. It's so many moving parts, and each one is dynamic. If you don't connect them, if you don't fix them like to perfection, it will just be a waste of money, resources, time, and all of that. So you have to really master marketing, especially if you're doing it at a scale. So I could turn more value from 10 visitors, the quality of them, over 10 million, no joke. Give me 10 million, no concept, no process, or no good offer. Oh, big deal. Also, who they are looking at. So there's some places you don't want to talk about yourself. So the website is, you know, if it's talking about trim, and then you have a whole paragraph about Julie or Susie McCrae. Who the hell are you? Why do I care to know about you? Right? Okay, so it's something, but if you're talking about something humanitarian, then your bio, if you're talking about, oh, bless, if you're talking about, so you know, your personable brand, if you throw it in the wrong place, it's the turn of, who is Mike? You know, I don't want to. So remember, people don't know you yet. So if you throw your identity, 99% of the population don't like you. They don't know you. They're just going to look at what they disagree with. They don't know you. They don't like you. But if they know, so you have to focus on the value and the nature of the product. So there's some areas of the business, they would never know what business is it is, if it's ONPASSIVE, or if this is, you know, Dan Street who is inviting me. So identity where needed, when needed, after they follow you on one of the things, okay? They have no choice now, they're stuck with you, all right? But, so it's a Catholic marriage, you know? So there's no way to bail out. They're trapped in a good way, okay? But if you talk about you and then, you know, let me shop for a better person. I don't like his head. I wish his nose was bigger, smaller. Not gonna find a perfect person. Or name, or gender, and all. It is dangerous to throw the identity Okay. Too soon, at the wrong place, at the wrong time. So the offer itself, the completion, the process, the follow-up, the accuracy of it, the relevance, the time zone, the currency, the language. You know, if somebody sign up anywhere and now you're talking to them in a foreign language, yeah, you're getting a lot of traffic, but what is it? Bogus. Okay. You know, is it real traffic? The word real, because there's something called proxy. They set up machines. They're really sending you different people and names and all that. Anyone has seen your offer? Zero. It's called a proxy. Is it a co-registration? Like somebody just, you know, kind of inserted that little box to okay. The timing, okay, you're not looking for that. Now, oh, you registered on OConnect. Oh yeah, I would love to start talking to you know, my you know, business colleagues or my followers over OConnect. But all of a sudden, the first follow-up, whether, you know, is a text or email or a video, they receive something in a different language, okay? And it's all it's talking about ONET or financial freedom or Mr. DeGarmo the hero. I don't need that. So the timing, stay on topic. AI will know they came through Academy. It will stay on course. It has to stay on course. All of those variables. Listen, nobody knows all those details and piece them up together, but you have to get, you know, all those moving parts created, and then we connect them. And my part is to dedicate the logic of this masterpiece. But I will tell you what, you are blessed. You don't have to do it. Number one. Number two, you would never ever in your life get somebody who will perfect this operation and deploy it to perfection like we do. You can go to the bank immediately. So we know how to scale it. We know the relevant content, the language, the timing, okay? It is not the best day to send an ad to Israel, okay, on a Saturday morning. That's not when they will buy. Or Cinco de Mayo in Mexico, 5th of May. Wrong timing. Right? Fireworks, you're selling that, I don't know, mid-February or something. No, you do that in June for 4th of July or New Year Eve. So the relevance, the timing, time zone, all of that is covered. The offer, if it's good, the quality of the traffic, if it's exclusive, if it's humanized, if there's a proper follow-up, all of that. So just have fun with it. You know, if you're interested in the details, nothing more than traffic, you know, I can talk to you about, but the good news, you don't have to invent it.
Truly good news.
Yeah, there's no better traffic than exclusive traffic, targeted traffic. That's what you want to focus on. So most people talk about the quantity. Yeah, you can have everybody on your website, but then they're confused.
I wanted to ask you something, you know, because I feel like we're truly blessed that you folks are doing all of this for us, because we're lay people and we just don't know where to start, really. But I was interested in the traffic specialists that you have on board. I wanted to know a little bit more about that. The strong workers that you have focusing on traffic. I just was amazed that there even is such a thing.
So back in 2018, when I started this process, one of my best friends and He lives 6 months in Tennessee and 6 months not far from you. Okay. West Coast in Florida. When we've done a lot of business together, we crushed it a few occasions, and when I came up with the concept of ONPASSIVE, I said, but we need to scale this. So we considered, other areas that we could acquire, and we have a plan to this would be exclusive for us. But we also were able, until now, we have somewhere between 80 to 100 good qualified sources that can literally give us almost unlimited number of buyers. The key word is buyers, okay? People who have a history of buying. So they are qualified, they know how to go online. Yeah, you could talk about, people who have no connection or internet or email or card. Have 1 trillion of them. What does that do to you? There's no trillion humans, but so we're blessed that we have this ability to reach them. I'm not even talking about generating more visitors. We're talking about a list that already exists and just, sharing them, like inviting them in different ways. Okay, we have the technology to do so with our partners and joint ventures. Not only that. We can acquire traffic on demand. A big deal in traffic is the ROI. Okay, so if it costs you $10 like to generate one sales, is that effective? So in our case, because of the volume, it allows us to get it at a very cost-effective level and competitive. Actually, it will allow us to have a good margin because our business is so profitable. So all those important things, because you could bankrupt chasing the wrong traffic or an open budget very quickly. So to have the reasonable budget for that. So we know where the traffic is, or the crowd, the audience. We have an incredible offer. We have a perfected like nowhere else with AI process. We have it all. We have all the variables and all the elements, and we can command it on demand. There's no limit for the traffic we can get, and potentially we can handle it very effectively. And they would get value even before they put $1. If you're talking about, coming to our back office as a guest or watching some of our events and all of that. So we will give them a ton of value before they even buy. It will just be like, can I do, like, tell me what to do for you, okay? Remember my psychology. A good leader will always touch the heart before they ask for the hand. Touch the heart. So if I have 5 followers, 5 prospects are listening to me, and I give them value more than they thought before they put $1, wow, I'm already getting better, just like the founders. Are you going to question after all of this, if you've been with us or paying attention, when you see the value and what we're building, are you going to question like, oh, if it's going to be this much money? You're going to jump because most people want to join a strong base, like a tribal structure. Okay? They don't want to follow a weak leader, weak business, weak concept. We're something revolutionary, and we're loud in our impact. So it'll be easy for us to really attract the public. Now, I'm not talking about, the value itself is You don't have to promote it. It sells itself. It's come on, sample it, take a look, no pressure. But they're tied up. They go to engineermike.com, they're stuck. I mean, don't take it the negative way. It just fairly coded to him. Let's improve the language. And there's no bailout until they buy or die. Now, I hope you don't think we're going to slaughter people. Okay, jokingly. I mean, like unsubscribe. Okay, let's use technical term. Or I don't want to buy, or leave me alone, or something like that. Okay. So they will receive follow-up or a reminder. People forget. But the machine doesn't forget that you bought flowers, on June 17th to your spouse or something, okay? Or a teddy bear. I was going to remind you every June 17th. Continuity. There's one time the sale and there's forever the sale, forever green. I hope I gave you a little bit of the perspective. It's really not your part to worry about the mechanics. And it's not something I was able to learn 5 minutes before I come to the webinar. It takes time to cultivate this knowledge experience with a lot of loss and trial and error investments till you gain this confidence and become aware. And how you do it? Do you do it with passion, or you just want to, get by? So when you're passionate about something, it will pay off. So don't expect yourself to know everything, or I don't expect you to know everything I mentioned. If you got a lick of that, that's good enough. If you didn't get anything, no bother. We're just having a chat. The good news, you don't have to do it. We go through all of that. I don't think anyone else will do it for you. That's guaranteed. Show me, I will follow them. Like from the heart, like all the way, genuinely, okay? Because they will just try to trick you and upsell you. Oh, there's something they call upselling. I hate it. It's like misleading. It's squeezing your buck. It's like killing your wallet. That's what it means. So this is Ash at a Friday evening. I hope you like my attitude.
I love it. I can see you're in your
Thank you.
element. You are totally in your element. You're happy as a clam right now.
I am. I can wear you out.
You came with a little passion tonight, Ash. That's good to see.
I have the cord.
We love it. We love it.
Thank you.
All right. What is your time frame like? We
do it until we die. We do it until it's done. I'm kidding.
Awesome.
I've been on the webinars the whole day.
I bet you have been.
Yeah.
India's
awake now.
Some questions. You
yeah,
want
absolutely.
to take some questions?
I like
okay,
intelligent questions. Allow me pineapple and mint and.
Take a break. Take a breather. Okay, so let me repeat. Now we've got some ground rules here. We don't want to eat up Ash Mufareh's his whole night. So when you do make your comments or questions, can you keep them to about 2 minutes? And we're going to leave it up to you to monitor yourselves. Also, we're asking you to raise your hands. And what we're going to do is ask you to unmute, and then you can go ahead and speak. All right. And no support questions. No support questions tonight. Let's use our time wisely. All right. So now we have Hildegard. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, the whole ONPASSIVE Nations team. And thank you, Ash. What an honor to be a part of this movement. And I have a feeling I'm sitting in a room of souls that a long time ago have decided to come together. We might not have known how it would come to pass, but I'm so excited, I can't even tell you. And my question initially was, that's why I raised my hand, and it was answered more or less when Judy asked hers, how many, per position, how many businesses could you actually attach to it? I understand that you let the position make the money, and then is there like a limit? One of the people in my team asked me that not too long ago. I have so and so many businesses. Can I have 1 or 3 or 5 businesses attached to a certain founder's position? If you would.
Well, let's not call them positions, okay? We're not talking about positions. Founders are the only package that is all about positioning and the early adapters of the vision. But I think we're wrapping up this phase of ONPASSIVE, as you may tell. Now, moving forward, we're going to be talking about packages, sales, subscriptions, products, services. That's the conversation. Terms are important. So let's agree on that. As a business owner, as an individual, as a company, okay, you have the ability to buy an unlimited amount of businesses or packages, okay, subscriptions, all of that. One business by default is every day is going to have the engineermike.com. Let's stick with that for the conversation today. Engineermike.com, that is the brand, that's the domain name. You go to the website tomorrow, it's going to be a different complete layout, website design, okay, message, videos, completely different, talking about a different topic. In case what you saw today you didn't like on it. The day after is a different one. The day after, a different one. 365 days each and every day is a unique, complete, different design. What happened to the website from yesterday or last week or last month? It doesn't die. It stays forever green in a way. So / on your own engineermike.com, whether it's March, February, by the month, by the date, by the topic, it's there. But remember, you have so many variables or parts of the business or products that will allow you to have your own shop. Okay? So one is O-commerce, one is O-bless, one is O-academy, O-create, you follow me? O-mart, and so on and on and on. Each one is going to have your identity on your own domain name, cause, building clean water in my neighborhood, or feeding my, opening a yoga club for my neighbor, whatever the cause is. So you could categorize, and that is unlimited. So remember, you have all those many hundreds of websites and portals, but they're promoting and, attracting the audience to parts of ONPASSIVE. In case they don't like 1, they don't like 2, they don't like C, they don't like, on the hopes they would, be attracted to something based on where they came from. But your own has no limit. You could create unlimited amount of websites per day. Each one is a different, unique domain name, but engineer.com, mike.com is the main domain, but everything is a subdomain. There's no mention of ONPASSIVE. There's no mention of OBLESS or the details of our business products or scope. So,
wow, Ash, it's unlimited. You are the unlimited man. Thank you.
So it is unlimited. You can have unlimited in O-mart, unlimited in O-bless, unlimited in O-create. Okay, each one is unlimited. So there's no number, like you would have thousands of websites in no time if you're active. If you're not, it's a different scale, but you're going to have a numerous number of websites on your identity. Who's the hero? You. Nobody knows that so and so, whether myself or somebody in a different country or in Hyderabad is working their tail off to build that website or design or tweak or code. Nobody knows. It's engineer Mike is the genius. Look at this guy. What a brand.
Well, he is a genius. I learned a lot from Engineer Mike.
I don't
want to say that.
I don't mean him specifically. To all of the fairness, of course he is, but I'm just saying every founder, every reseller, every marketer of ONPASSIVE will look as a pro hero, like a main brand, without even them lifting a finger. That's where we get the heat. Because of that, is how like you're doing this, but we're doing it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Hildegard. Next, we have Kyrie from the United States. Go ahead, Kyrie.
Hello, good day, everyone. I have two questions. My first question is, for the people who want to use ONPASSIVE traffic for external business, will ONPASSIVE be affiliated with the larger tracking platforms, or will ONPASSIVE have its own tracking platform?
Remember the word I used, exclusive, all right? So whatever visitor, okay, the traffic is really a random thing, but whatever we would use the word exclusive visitor to you, when they go to, that's it, they're exclusive. We're not sharing the same thing. I mean, one major, can I say the word scam? In the traffic lead generation, advertisement, publication businesses, I often say, I think all the time, I've seen a company that will sell the same lead 45 times a day. Different customer, but often they end up promoting, the same business or a good portion of them. If you were building abc.com as a business, and the next 25 buyers that they are doing the same, and the leads are the same, what do you think is going to happen? If they were interested 1% in your offer, now they just killed it, because who do I listen to? This sounds like a scam or a can of worm or some like noisy flood. It is a turning off point to the recipient when they receive multiple messages at the same time from the same people. So it sounds like something, I'm being sold. There's a sense of desperation here, all of that. So I love the word exclusive. Even if you get less traffic, less visitors, but it's a higher quality and a higher value. So we're not per se attached like ONPASSIVE is getting from Facebook. You're not going to see that. Okay. Though I have the philosophy of leaving no unturned stone, but sometimes you have to give a good respect to yourself and value. And if you have a better, more qualified organic value than the supplier, why am I going to go? I don't believe in it, so I'm not going to spend money on it.
Okay. And I do apologize. Did I say traffic or tracking? Like a tracking platform, like Volume that they have that in affiliate marketing that we use to track the traffic.
Our own technology, but you said the word traffic. If I apologize if I misheard, but I think you said the word traffic. And no, we have our own tracking systems.
Oh, we do.
It's not a track like what are they called, statistics or something. No, of course, that's our technology. that is, you know, like a part of our traffic, and each one of those websites would have statistics, so it will tell you who's there and the volume and their location and their IP address and their browser and their time zone, their language, their currency, their everything. So
Thank
much
you.
fun. Yeah, of course.
My
Thank you.
second question is,
Okay.
You
I
can double
know
dip.
I know that we have the best tech team on the planet.
No, we
As our
don't. We're still
CEO,
building them. We're
as,
still hunting. Yeah.
as our CEO, what action did you take when you heard the news in the United States that Amazon AWS was brought down 3 times last quarter? And that completes it.
I had a very beautiful, constructive meeting with AWS yesterday, Thursday, and we discussed everything. No, I mean, I have a lot of respect for Amazon, AWS. They're huge. The scale of their business, the security, all of that. One thing I don't like is their pricing point. I feel is overpriced, and they know this. The monopoly, and there's no human element. It's really all down to the dollar. So we're open, and you know, we're friends, and we talk. Talking about some seniors in Amazon. So don't judge, you know, a company for a hiccup or anything. We're going to be put in that spot at some point. Amazon is Amazon. I mean, AWS is AWS. So they're huge. So a blink in their website, that's okay. It doesn't diminish their value or their history.
Hopefully that answers your question. And Mr. Mufareh, don't you think that eventually ONPASSIVE's data center will be much larger over the long term than anyone else's data center?
The key is not larger, but the key is what do we do with it? Okay. So what Amazon is doing, they're pocketing money for one company. And the customers on there, they're choked up, like their life is in the hands of AWS. So the benefit is it will give us the freedom, the liberty to be completely independent with scalability and have the flexibility to share the benefits and the results with whom we want. So it's a different structure. We might not, or it could take us a while to have, you know, they have, I know we have some tech guys here, so they have 84, you know, they have zones, they have region. I think there are like 26 regions globally. Each region contains multiple zones, 1 to 5, the number, and each zone. So let's say they have West Virginia. West Virginia has, so that's one region. So that might have multiple locations, like administrative locations, between 1 to 5 within the time zone and the region of Virginia. Each zone also contains 1 to 5 data centers. Massive number of servers. So do the math. That's a lot of tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of servers. We're quite almost close to invisible to that volume. So to get there, it will be a big process. But I'm more excited about what we do with the ability of having our own data center. Give the unlimited, the freedom, the no cap, philosophy to our users. Not a meter and then by the click, by the, every navigation, every browse, we charge them. So that's what they're good at. Their passion is to make money. That's not my passion. So the motive is different. And the use is different. But because you are Lynn and Ron, I'm going to give you something. But what if I am able to? No, I think it's too crazy. I'm not going to say it today. Change the topic.
Shucks. We almost got a gold nugget right there, didn't we? Almost.
Yeah, it's huge. I said it the other day on the round table. Leave it until we close the founders, and we're going to have some fireworks.
I think we're all looking forward to that great experience. All right, we have Bob Takusi, our IT guy from Bel Air, Maryland. Let's let you say a few words.
All right. Hello, Lynn. Hello, Ron. Hello, everyone. Hello, Mr. Ash. It's a pleasure seeing you. Greetings from Bel Air, Maryland. I live in Bel Air, Maryland. I just wanted to make a contribution, and then I'll have one question. This is to Judy. We get this question a lot about, founders coming in, and then they talk about, having an extra package, like they want to dedicate a package for traffic. So I've actually, as Mr. Ash wants us to call it now, package, not position. So I've actually given some thought to it, and I'm glad Mr. Ash is here so he can, correct me based on what I'm thinking. I believe that if I don't care how many packages, how many you have, for you to dedicate that to your business outside, another business outside for traffic, you are shortchanging yourself. We just heard from the master himself. He tells us as how much the volume of traffic that's going to be coming.
But Bob, so each account or package, if you choose to include the marketing with it, okay, you are a reseller, for example, so automatically it's gonna, you're agreeing for us to send traffic to that account, your domain name. Now, this is by default, it's like almost like a cookie cutter, okay, a small portion for everybody, everyday. Consistency is the key there. You don't want to send one visitor once in a while, or so it's a good flow that over time will ensure some traction. Now, but there is also, I did mention, we will make sure that if you just want traffic, like aside from the business suite.
I'm coming to that, yes.
So you would have the ability to have unlimited amount of packages.
Right.
Forget the dollar amount, but different packages, different volumes. And you can do that not once a month or like a subscription. You could do that in different ways. The key, this is a massive shop, okay?
Right.
The ONPASSIVE Earth or planet. It just a big market. All the people marketing their stuff, or they're promoting other businesses, opportunities, products, all of that. Everybody's pitching some thoughts, offers, ideas, plus the ONPASSIVE pages, products, and the additions, and our physical products. Continue that. It's just it's the biggest mall. Okay. Now, it has been advised that we should have, more options to sell. In other words, what if you want to buy, you want to spend, figure, okay, a big amount of thousands of dollars today, you're having a campaign or something on your business. We want to make sure that is available. So scalability is important.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want you or your traffic to limit your growth. If you're having a good success and you have the budget and you want to scale faster, yeah, we'll help you do so.
Could you just have O-Tracker as a standalone, just have O-Tracker? Because I think my understanding is
there are so many products are relevant, so for example, like the suite of O-Staff, so with O-Hire, with OP, so it's better for you to get a complete O-Staff, right? With the different departments with it. So it becomes the most attractive, O-Staff or HRM system, okay? Now, if somebody's just interested in OP here, it's a different approach, not through ONPASSIVE. So it will be, trust me, we're not going to say no to sales, all right? So we will sell businesses, all of that. But the beauty is, which is a disappointment for businessmen, if they're here, they will say, this guy's an idiot. He's not a business savvy. Up until now, I'm always constantly thinking, no matter what the source of the revenue, it just comes from this side, is going to the main tank, and we're going to bless those who are qualified.
So O-Tracker is integrated with O-Traffic and O-Funnel. You had said that before, right?
You will have bundles. Let's call it bundles, but that the ONPASSIVE way, we're going to make sure everybody has access.
Everybody has, yes.
Now, outside is not going to be called O-Tracker, okay? But if we have a few clients that we're generating, some good budget that is taking care of us covering a payroll in one of the countries, yeah, why not? With a kiss.
Okay. So now my next question is, if you can, please, can you just explain to us, or let me just get it clear, auto language translator in O-Connect. Are we actually, my understanding, or maybe I should tell you my understanding and then you correct me if I'm wrong. So we are actually translating the language as I'm speaking. For instance, I'm here in the United States. I'm on an O-Connect conference, video conference. You are in France. I'm speaking to you in English.
Machinery translation, and that we're not the dictionary, okay? But we're automated the process. So we're going to give you the ability to put closed caption.
Okay.
Remember, we have voice recognition and in Academy and different elements, so we're blessed to have so many reusable features and technologies. That's why I'm having this crazy momentum now, because like, oh, wow. So it gets lighter and easier as you have the foundation, or in the beginning, you're scraping here and there, but now, okay, well, there's like a couple of sprints and you have a product, because we did 75% of it, but now we're just customizing that to fit in this product.
Okay.
So let's say chat, okay, for you to chat or text or have in the editor of ONPASSIVE. Once you create that, it's almost on every application.
Yes.
Almost.
True.
You're not going to invent it every time.
True.
We tweak it. We customize it based on the needs. Exactly. So the first product is a big deal because, of course, not the first editor. The editor is where you type, right?
Right.
The text box for just breaking down, simplifying that. If you think the first editor we created, we loved it, and we said, this is it, it's a winner. No, we'll probably have like 20 or something until we got to the point, okay, now we're cooking. And then any product after that is like, okay, or you the first one you're embarrassed about the product, and then 2 more products, then we fix it on 3. A couple more, now we fix it. When we upgrade the editor, we upgrade it on 5 different platforms. What we've done,
Yeah.
I'm talking about past. Then there's 7, and we go now and we tweak in every one of them. But once we finalize it, now we apply it to the 7, and anyone ever after is just dump it in, tweak it much faster. It's already done. So we are having many pieces, many tools, many features that are, we call it reusable technology.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Ash. Appreciate it.
Of course, that's what I do.
Yeah. Thank you, Lynn.
Hope to see you soon. Thank you, Bob.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you, Bob. Next, we have Engineer Mike. His hand got lowered by mistake, and it certainly wasn't me that did it. So just know that, Engineer Mike, it was inadvertently lowered. You are next.
By the way, Mike, Chris did it. Okay.
Of course, that's what he does to everyone.
Chris can never do that to me, Marty. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Leadership Council members. Good evening, Sir Ash.
Good
yes,
evening.
sir. I want to talk a little bit about our traffic. That's the topic for today. So I wanted to know, I've been asked so many times by my team members, what is the extra traffic and how can we benefit from it? Thank you.
Based on the number of your founders team?
No, the extra traffic, the extra one.
Oh, you mean the a la carte traffic
Yes, sir.
packages?
Yes, sir.
Basically, you have more things to sell, or you're happy, or you're like some of our key leaders here, they're just, this is their life. So they have the capacity to, due to their income or focus, okay, their dedication to this type of business, they say, you know what, I like what I'm doing, what's happening in my business, and the impact to those who are in my team, because they would benefit too. Remember, there would be overflow to your team. You're not necessarily going to enjoy that by yourself when you order extra traffic. So for the reasons I mentioned, some people like a faster pace. I'm more paranoid about time. I'm just so alert, and this is a trauma I have because I have so much in life I want to accomplish before I die. So time is a big deal to me. So if I can go fast, I was talking to somebody, they discovered that I had a master's degree. Supposed to take 4 years at a good pace, okay? 4 years, you do that. I realized I finished it in 8 months. How? They said, did you like borrow credit? No. I did everything complete. 8 months. What did you do? I just didn't sleep until it was done. So when I do it, I go all in. So if it was my business, I have something passionate about, I'm just not going to leave one lick of traffic without, drawing that to my business. And somebody's comfortable, they're good with time. No pressure, no rush. Remember, it's a business expense. It's a tax deductible item. While we'll cash it and sit in the bank, just whatever circulates in ONPASSIVE, whether an O Bless, O Academy, more traffic, helping the team, all of that is just more value, more impact, more blessing, more influence. So you will be the judge to how you monetize your results.
All right. Thank you. We have.
Am I doing okay, Lynn?
Yes, you're doing fabulous. Is your time frame okay?
I'm fine. Just if you could, please. When are you going to talk to Ron?
We are trying to get, he's co-host. So I'm trying to tell him he is co-host. So he should be able to speak. Ron, go ahead.
No, but I mean, when you talk to him, can you tell him I did okay so he can invite me again?
Of course. Marty,
all right.
Marty, can you make Ron co-host? Because I see him on the panelist list. It's the orange, RH and orange. Can you make him co-host? I think that'll help him so he can speak. Poor thing.
He is co-host, Lynn.
There's 2 devices. So his second device is under Ron Hulbert. Julie, do you see it? Under Robert Faraji is Ron Hulbert. That one needs to be made co-host.
And Julie, are you getting calls from Hyderabad now? Because everybody knows you're giving a car. And now they're trying, okay, I better make a friend with Julie, okay? Everybody is going to be approaching you. Because you get to decide, yeah.
Julie, go ahead and share what you wanted to share. This is a great time to do it, Julie.
Oh, I'm just excited.
Am I in trouble?
You are so in trouble. You put a lot of us, not sleeping at night and thinking. I mean, if what you hear today, truly, if your rock hasn't turned, your heart hasn't turned, or your mind hasn't turned, truly, I mean, I say this: ONPASSIVE is enough. And the question to everyone is ONPASSIVE enough for you? If it hasn't, you got to dig in. You got to look at it. You got to not only looking at just the founder where you are, look at a different angle, remove yourself out and look back in. What can I do, right? Everything. I mean, just sitting here, listen to Mr. Ash Mufareh, everything. ONPASSIVE, what ONPASSIVE has applied to everything in life. If you couldn't understand that, give me a call. I could talk your ear out. That's all. Truly, it's ONPASSIVE. It's enough in many way, many shape of life.
Thank you, Julie.
And Ash, let me tell you, you are doing just fine. I appreciate you coming on.
Did you invite me again?
Pleasure to have you.
He's having trouble with his devices. It's been a struggle tonight.
I am having tech problems, and I'm no tech. So I have no, I can't unmute my computer. So I had to go to my phone. So I got 2 devices, talking on my phone and watching the webinar on my computer. So
it was good enough, techy enough to attract me. I couldn't resist. So.
Oh, yes, sir. We appreciate you being here.
I love it. Yeah, I saw the poster, so I did text you, so I said, okay, I'm gonna listen. And then I saw the one in the email. I said, they're talking about traffic. Oh no, I better go. And now I brought this with me, so
you don't need to use it.
Thank you.
It's there's no place in the world that actually the company is giving away cars to the employees or the team. It's going to be a red hot night. So make sure you check your back office. Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, Julie, speaking of that, not only the car and all of that, I know you will, if we don't have enough Indian founders at the moment now, you will let them know, okay? Just today, Friday, say evening, afternoon, Indian Standard Time, we had a couple of departments, law and order, and cybersecurity, and Hyderabad Police Department, and some officials. We've been working on this meeting and collaboration like a collation for a while. Some of them from Bangalore. We've been close to them and all of that. But we finally got to where they literally were in our place. And we insisted we want to do our respect to them and have address a few concerns we have. The struggle, the stress is, look, we're doing so much good for humanity. We're working so hard to make a difference. We're spending incredible amount of money. We're paying so much taxes in multiple countries. You know, they know in India alone, millions upon millions, not only in their currency, but any currency. It's large budget. It's a large budget. And the good that we're doing, okay, in general, how many hundreds of families are living off ONPASSIVE? Yet, there's some lunatic and crazy maniac every day comes and start barking and slandering and accusing us falsely. It's like false accusation, which is quite the opposite of free press and speech. It's a violation to that because you are harming the career and the living of many families. People use their career to go and pay their medical billings for their mother, to put their kids in school, all of that. We're doing so good. We take care of our staff health-wise, testing, vaccinations, whatever is required, all the precautionary stuff. We do good. Day and night, we work hard. They look at the time zone. They know my hours around the clock. And yet people come and load their dump on us and leave. And that is causing harm for the hard work of the founders, of the leaders, the company, the staff. So that is damage. So it got to the point, like we reached the threshold and we said, this is not acceptable. We've got to work together. So we called for that urgent meeting. So many departments to do that. Not only the car is something, yeah, wow, you're doing something, not only that, but there's one big commissioner they known like nationwide in India, okay? They call it Pan-India, known. Said he's been into big tech giants. They know in India, Wipro, Deloitte, Microsoft, and a few other major Tata and big brands. They said, only ONPASSIVE, we're not the biggest. For the first time in their career, they see the amount of security. And bodybuilders were the only company, they've been in billionaires' offices. They have never seen one bodyguard, a bouncer. We're the only company. Why we do that? To protect our staff. So we do things differently. I mean, we're not following anyone's lane. We just do it from the heart. And the message was not about what was the topic and what we're inviting. The message is about we do things that no one else does. So that bouncer from a government official, major one, been in many offices, maybe all of them. ONPASSIVE is the first, has the amount of security, the care for the staff, their safety, and bodyguards. So I was touched by that. I was moved. And we are proud of it. That was a double message, by the way, if I had to explain.
Righty. We've got Ty Young would like to say something. Hi, Ty.
Hi, everybody. Hello, Ash. I have this, let me start here. I logged into a friend of mine's account for her. She's like 86 years old. And she has basically a charity like thing, right? She knits hats for babies. And I don't know whether I should put it on Oh Bless or what to get donations to her or whatever, but she's been doing it for years and years and years and years, making a lot of baby hats. And she gave them to hospitals. And it's George's mother, George Giegel, that I'm, live here with. And she's just sweet. She's a sweet lady. And I just wanted to know what could I use ONPASSIVE for? I don't know, giving her donations to get the yarn to make the hats more, or what. I don't know if it was a good idea or not, but that's where I'm at with that. I just wanted to know what your ideas on it is, Ash.
So while you're talking, I'm always constantly like screening, is this question an individual or is it for the whole body of ONPASSIVE and the rest of the founders and all of that? So this is an obvious individual case. I wouldn't want to make a call on it or give you, I mean, I'm happy to be an advocate or supporter in any way I can for such a sweet lady and what she does and all of that. But that's a deserving case, is not necessarily something we want to address on this. So you do your own judgment on that.
Well, it's not. Well, another thing too is that, like, when I first got into ONPASSIVE, I was looking to use tools to promote the things that I was already promoting, right?
Right.
One of the things that I wanted from it was real eyes on my product that I'm selling or whatever.
Yeah.
Was interested. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, one of my biggest questions was, and it's fear too, that if I promote something that I'm in, that I believe in 100%, and I feel like I'm doing good at it, and I'm doing good in it, then, and it goes sour, and I'm promoting it with ONPASSIVE, what happens to me if it turns out to be a scam or whatever, and I end up scamming a bunch of people that's already on ONPASSIVE? So that was a fear of mine too about.
No, you're good. I love that point, Ty. So remember, tyyoung.com is the story, and it's real. That is not going to change. Consider those opportunities, offers, businesses as light bulbs. Light bulb. Follow me?
Yeah.
And they will burn out.
Yeah.
They have a lifespan. But that doesn't affect you. Tai Young will always be live and will be out on. So, you're going to change a few shoes, pair of shoes in your life and light bulbs and all that. So that's not the asset. This is a dynamic thing. You'll make a bad judgment here and there. So do I.
Right.
That's not going to affect your business. You just
Thank
change
you,
the
Ty.
light bulb, or you get rid of it.
Thank you, Ty.
You're welcome.
Karina. Hi, Karina. You can unmute yourself.
Thank you, Lynn. I don't have a question. I just wanted to come on and say thank you to Lynn and to Ron for this webinar. This was awesome, as usual. And to Marty, Chris, Mike, Dan, all of you guys, Julie, just thank you for the Leadership Council. And yeah, I love you all very much. Ash, I wanted to say hi to you. It's been too long since I got to see you, so I feel very blessed right now and very honored, honestly, just to be in your presence. So it's been a while for me since I've been able to see you. So thank you for doing what you do for us, because I couldn't imagine what you're going through. Like you said, nobody else would do it, and you're so right about that. Yeah, ONPASSIVE has been an amazing journey for me. So I have a lot of respect for you and for everybody in ONPASSIVE, all the people here, family. They're like family to me. So thank you for that, Ash, because it wouldn't have been that way without you. So thanks for what you're doing. And
Thank you
I
for
respect you very
acknowledging the
much.
leaders. I appreciate it. Likewise.
I appreciate you
And
too.
I
Thank
respect
you
you
so much.
for acknowledging the people who work hard to help everybody else. So
yes,
it was
they
good.
do. Thank you so much, Ash. I love you very much, and thanks for what you do.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you. Karina, I couldn't find you on the thing. I was going to spotlight you. Sorry about that. Okay.
Oh, we have to do
Judy.
it again?
Yeah, no, I'm going to spot her now because she deserves the spotlight. Here we go. There you go. You with Ash. How special is that? All right. All right. Next, we've got Judy Oliver, who'd like to say a few words. Go ahead, Judy.
Thanks again, Karina.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Ash.
Hi, Judy.
Hi. I'm sorry I don't have my camera on, but I'm in my jammies, and I don't think you want to see that. So I wanted to kind of tell you where I'm coming from and see whether I'm thinking right. I had asked about the sharing on the package, and I have over 20 packages. I have 2 daughters and 8 grandchildren, so I plan on having them have the 10 of them. But the other thing is, I'm like Willow. I'm in my late 70s, and I really don't need a lot. And my idea is for a legacy for my children and my grandchildren, and to help with any kind of charities that I can help with. But the reason I think I'm going to stay with my products that I have, I did very well with them before, but I was doing shows, and it took a lot out of me, and I can't do that anymore. But I need to have a purpose, and ONPASSIVE is my purpose in a way, but you've already spoiled all of us by doing all the work for us. So all I'm going to be doing is going in and taking my money out or my apples. And so I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and take that one package and use it for my business, because the other thing that you said was that maybe do ONPASSIVE, let them get to know you. And then I thought, no, wait, we're not going to have customers, or the customers or resellers are not going to know who we are. So if I do my family traditions on one of my packages, they will get to know me and the products and everything, and I can take my time with it and buy some extra traffic, and then have something to do other than taking my apples out. You understand? So you think I'm thinking right?
So we are a company with so many limitless values and features and all that. It's going to be hard to sit one by one and see